I want to have Remarkable Cuisine as one of the highest in catering operations in the region. I have various gigs and clients that keep my job interesting and keep it moving, and that's the dynamic part of it that keeps me into it. I get to cook different things, I get to sort of go by my style, and it is kind of awesome the way I do it. I put a dynamic on it that makes it mine. The future is incredibly bright. More restaurants, more stores. It's going to happen. Hello, my name is Chef Mark McLean. I am here to demonstrate some simple cooking techniques at home for you to make great meals in your home with different ideas, with vegetables, with fresh greens, and things that bring it all together to create a great experience to eat at home, almost like a restaurant. Today we're making a awesome pasta dish. We're taking all these vegetables, asparagus. We're taking zucchini, peppers, yellow and red. Lots of garlic and onion. We're making almost a primavera, but we're putting a seared, marinated chicken in there. Of course, chicken breasts. That it's going to bring it all together with a white wine and Parmesan sauce. We're going to do this all in one pot. We're going to do it pretty simply and greatly. We're going to make sure that I tell you the details so you can do this at home on your own with the same ease that you would do any other dish, but make it so much greater. And then we're going to plate it, and you're going to see how great a dish like this can happen in your house. We're going to start with some asparagus. I have a couple of stalks of just super fresh and kind of large asparagus. It is asparagus season, so we have the benefit of having this great vegetable right now as it's coming off the farm. I'm cutting a decent sized dice because as I'm prepping my dish, I'm thinking about how it's going to look when I cook it, when I plate it, when I put it all together. With that in mind, I cut that in a decent size, so when you grab a fork or a spoonful, because it's pasta, that you're going to have this asparagus, maybe 1 or 2 chunks in every bite with your pasta, with your chicken, something like that. Matter of fact, that might not be enough. I'm going to grab one more. Why not? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to get this going in the pan first because the vegetable was just a little tougher than the others we're going to cut. And my pan is already hot. I seared the chicken earlier. I have some great foundation. That's the black stuff. That's the flavor on the bottom of the pan that this is all going to suck up and start to make our sauce all together and bind together. So as I said, I seared the chicken earlier. And with that, I still have a good amount of oil in there. Now I put my asparagus in. I'm going to let that saute over about medium heat. And I'm going to get to breaking down some other vegetables. Have a great yellow pepper here, okay? We're going to use a yellow and red pepper. Why? Because they taste good and they look good. It's really simple, okay? I use all parts of the pepper. Look at me break down the end. Same way I would do anything else. I dice that up. Remember what I said, everything, same size, same shape. I'm thinking about how things are going to look when we plate them. I'm thinking about the forkfuls you're going to have of this nice chunky pasta full of vegetables and chicken. I even cut the chicken the same size before I marinated it. I'll tell you about the marinade in a little bit. And I'm going to do the same with the little bit of red pepper I have here. Uniform bite-sized pieces. We have a great sweetness in this pepper. It's not spicy like jalapeno or habanero. It's sweet. The flavor profile is going to fit for what we're doing. And I'm going to get our pepper in there to saute also. Like I said, I'm working over about a medium heat right now. I don't need to sear the vegetables. I just want them to start cooking a little bit. And I want them to start actually releasing their oils so they act like an acid to suck up everything that's on the great bottom of the pan for me searing the chicken. And I'm going to cut this onion into almost like a long strip a little bit. Why? Because I want it to hang off the fork as you pick up this pasta. I'm using a gemelli pasta, which is sort of like a corkscrew. And the idea is that when you pick that up, you'll have the onion not as the same shape as the pepper, which can be a little boring, but almost kind of differently, where you actually see the nice long parts of it. And with that, I'm gonna throw lots of garlic in here. If you don't love garlic, raise your hand. I can't see you, so you don't belong. For my garlic lovers, we're going with 4 cloves. Why? Because we can. I say that because you cook what makes sense to you. I love garlic. I love the idea. I love the taste. I love the smell. I love the flavor profile. I want it, so I'm adding it into our dish. 4 cloves a lot? It definitely is. But it's my dish. You're at my house, you're eating, and you can enjoy it the same way I am. So remember, we have our asparagus and our pepper in the pan right now, cooking down. I just cut some onion and garlic, lots of garlic. I'm getting everything going in a 1-pot dish, meaning I seared the chicken. I marinated the chicken first in balsamic, a little bit of red wine vinegar, a little bit of white wine vinegar, lots of garlic, oregano, salt and pepper, olive oil. I seared that really nicely. I got a really good crisp on the bottom of the pan. That's our flavor. That's our, what they call sucks in the French. And now I'm cooking everything in the same pan to get that idea. I have my onion and my garlic. I have a great asparagus and pepper cooking already. And I'm going to add this in and get that going also. Now, the key here is that I have all this flavor in the pan and I'm adding more. And as I'm doing so, I'm now seasoning in steps. Fine sea salt and pepper. And as the onion cooks in with the garlic a little bit and browns a touch, I'm going to think about what else I'm going to add to this pan. I know it's going to be a little bit of squash because the idea is almost like a pasta primavera full of vegetables. But after that, I'm going to add some great wine that's going to act as an acid, deglaze the pan, take all that flavor, and combine everything together. Okay? I'm adding my squash or zucchini, whatever floats your boat for how you want to call the green or yellow part. As I add things to the pan, I'm seasoning more. Every step I season because every part has its own flavor profile and I want to bring that up with the salt and with the pepper. I'm actually going to cut a touch more squash. And get in there. So we have our pasta going on here. We have all our veg. We have onions, asparagus, zucchini, squash, red pepper, yellow pepper, nice onion, and lots of garlic, all right? Sauteing here. It's a little dark because we seared it. We actually put it in a pan actually after we seared our chicken, which was seared in balsamic, red wine vinegar, white vinegar, a lot of oregano, a little bit of garlic, olive oil, salt, and pepper. So what we're going to do here, as that cooks through just a little bit more, we're going to get our wine ready. Our wine is going to deglaze the pan. and get the rest of the great black stuff off the bottom of the pan and start to create the basis for our sauce. Okay? Once again, I'm seasoning in steps. Every part, as I add everything into the pan, I season. That's what creates layers and layers of flavor. Okay? Have a great bottle of Sauvignon Blanc here. I'm going to do the smart thing and pour myself some. When in Rome, drink wine. Then I'm going to hit our pan with a lot. Understand here, we are not using a cream-based sauce. We're not using a sauce based with any bit of fat. We're using a sauce based with wine, and we're going to hit it with some Parmesan after that reduces. We know when that's reduced because we can smell it. We actually smell the wine that is gone from the pan. Right now, our vegetables are cooking in the pan with all the wine. It's the glazing. All that flavor is coming up and creating the sauce for our gemelli pasta, our corkscrew pasta that we're using to bring this dish all together. Now remember, we started with the asparagus. We sauteed that first. It's a little tartar vegetable, but it's asparagus seasoned. Then we put our peppers in, yellow and green, a large dice that are all in the same shape and size. Next we put onions and tons of garlic in, squash, zucchini. This is all in the same pan that we seared our chicken in earlier. Our chicken marinated with tons of vinegar, balsamic, red wine, olive oil, white vinegar, oregano, lots of Italian seasonings to bring the whole flavors together that we're melding. And we're going to let that reduce probably for about a few minutes until you can't smell the alcohol anymore. As that reduces, I'm preparing a good amount of Parmesan cheese. That is our fat content that we're going to add. And we're going to use our corkscrew pasta. Earlier I cooked that till al dente, maybe a minute less than the box says. So it's still a little toothy. And then I immediately cooled it. And I put olive oil all over it to keep it moist, to stop it from cooking, because I know I'm going to finish cooking it in the sauce that we're creating right now. Like I said, we deglaze the pan with Sauvignon Blanc a good amount because the sauce is a basis of a white wine with the Parmesan and the fat that goes in from the Parmesan cheese. And the only thing we're missing is the way for you guys to smell how great this is smelling right now. So here we have onion julienne, diced zucchini and squash, a large dice of bell pepper, red and yellow, asparagus, garlic. We have all the good brown bits from the bottom of the pan. Sauvignon Blanc we added now. And what we can do is return our chicken to the pan. I cut these in bite-sized pieces, almost the same size as the peppers and the squash. We can return it to the pan with some of the juices that are rendered for another layering aspect of flavor. I smell my pasta and realized that the alcohol is cooked out, and now I can add my Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese melts within the sauce that we have there. It thickens it up a little bit, adds that nutty flavor. It has that great mouthfeel that we love, the saltiness, the nuttiness, which makes Parmesan cheese that great essential element in all our pasta. And it's funny because as I'm cooking chicken with white wine, I have a brown sauce because I seared it so well. Lastly, I have a corkscrew pasta, gemelli. And I'm going to add enough of this to coat and be a good basis of our starch quality, as our starch quality within the dish. And as we mix everything together, you start to see everything come together. Now I know what this needs. I'm still going to have to season it as I put our pasta in, but I'm going to taste it first. Make sure all of our acid is there. All of our flavors from our vegetables. Our garlic flavor, we put a lot of garlic in there. When it's there, it's nothing short of awesome. Quick tip I'll give you guys. I have the terrible habit of adding too much pasta to a dish. The problem with that the pasta takes up all the sauce. All the sauce is lost, and you have an under-seasoned, non-sauced, dry pasta. I actually usually stop halfway and ask myself, am I going to oversalt this? Am I going to add too much pasta to this? Now I'm seasoning it again. Sea salt and pepper. I'm adding some chopped spinach, our last element. I chopped this spinach rather a large chop, but you understand that this will cook pretty fast in the residual heat of the pasta. And that brings up that last part that we needed. We have a nice green tint to go along with all our vegetables, our chicken, our corkscrew gemelli pasta, our white wine sauce with some Parmesan in there. I'll tell you guys the truth, if I had a chance, I would add some more Parmesan. This is rustic Italian almost. This is kind of down home, no cream. This is just grabbing the flavors of everything that we cooked in different parts all together in one pot and making this great pasta from it. We're going to get ready to plate this up. Salute. So I have a pasta bowl here. Look at that. Onions. Tons of garlic. Seared marinated chicken. Asparagus. Red pepper, yellow pepper. Zucchini. We have all the veg in here that was in our basket from earlier that you saw me cut. Nice. Everything's cut to a nice fork-sized size. When you grab a nice spoonful or forkful of this pasta, you get everything in there that we put in here to create all these flavors. How do you finish something this great? Only with more cheese. We used the Parmesan in the basis of the sauce that we added after we reduced our Sauvignon Blanc. Now I have a great fontina cheese, and we're going to put that right on top. I went a little heavy with it because that's how I roll. Lastly, a little bit of fresh parsley. And we can step back and enjoy our corkscrew gemelli pasta, asparagus, zucchini, squash, tons of garlic, onion, seared marinated chicken breast, fontina cheese atop, and a little bit of Parmesan cheese, and a little bit of parsley. Please do enjoy a simple, great meal brought to you by me, Chef Mark McLean. Salute to you.